Hey, I'm Spencer.
And I'm Britton.
Since 2011, Buckethead has released 291 albums. 92? 92 albums is like seriously, we're gonna listen to them 3 at a time. This is Getting Head.
Welcome, head-getters, bedwetters, trendsetters, Eddie Vetters.
Whoa.
Nerf herders.
Tom Warriors.
Turd
burglars.
Turd burglar. Yeah, there you go. This is episode 57. Getting head of motherfucking Bucketcast.
Coincidentally, the age of Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
You know what? That sounds correct.
I'm going to assume.
Honestly, if he's not 57, he should be.
Yeah.
Agreed. Get your shit together and be 57, Eddie. Come on.
Get your shit together, Eddie Vedder.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We know you can do better, Eddie Vedder.
Ooh, yeah. Well, are you dropping a cipher on Eddie Vedder right now? Are we witnessing a versus in the making? Like Spencer Hogg
behind the
versus
scenes
Eddie Vedder?
BTS, yeah.
I know where his corporate office is. I can take us there and we can just wait for him.
Eddie Vedder corporate offices?
Well, it's the Monkey Wrench Records corporate offices, and he owns the company.
Does that mean he's even there though? Like he
he has an official office there. He's there occasionally, apparently.
Okay.
I know someone who used to work for them, and he would show up a few times a month. But
sure,
it's also
make appearances.
It's also Pearl Jam's merch warehouse, which is fucking enormous.
Yeah, that band sells a lot of merch.
Fucking like they have a full staff to just sell their merch online. It's nuts.
That's crazy.
It's crazy how much merch they sell. Jesus Christ.
Just crazy.
I mean, good for them. That's an amazing conversion of like some talent to a lot of money. You know, considering like you find like, you know, some metal bands who have like incredible amounts of talent and no money.
Yeah, that's true. And also no merch.
Merch helps. You know?
Yeah, totally. It does.
Good merch helps.
Yeah, man. Pearl Jam. I don't know.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Let's make some merch.
I mean, well, first we have to have a good product before you. Good merch.
Yeah. Yikes.
We made a joke.
Yeah, we did.
No, we're a fun product.
Britt,
what's up?
What's up with you?
You know what? Not a whole lot. I've been hanging out, watching wrestling, watching some anime. You know, we're jerking off a whole lot.
But I mean, I guess that's when you start getting into both anime and wrestling, the jerking off, I think it goes up.
Oh,
the amount of jerking off.
You know, it's The
more anime and more wrestling you watch, the more you need to fucking jerk off.
It's a 1-2 punch in your dick. Yeah, it's just like that thing is Bebop and Rocksteady at this point. I'm beating it up so much. And I'm the Teenage Mutant Ninja Squirtles, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Just squirting all over the place.
Yeah.
You ever just fuck a sock or fuck a tissue or anything? Like, I'm just gonna like go on the floor. I'll take care of it later.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier in a carpeted environment, I feel, because then you don't have to deal with it.
Wait, what? Yeah, just come on the carpet and you're like, and you just like rub it in with your foot
you know
and
what?
like,
you know what?
Yeah,
I don't own the place. Whatever. Like,
no,
they gotta replace the carpet sometime.
It'd be pretty great if there was like a gap between your bed and like a wall, and like that was just like the cum corner, and you're just like roll over, like rub one out on the wall, and then like. It's like, you ever see those like big ass candles where people have like burned candles like a bunch of times? It's like the wall is like that. It's just like all these different colors.
It's just like it's yellowish. It's just all of it is
different
off
shades
yellow.
of yellow and brown and green.
Taupe. Green. I don't know about green.
Hey, you know, I don't know.
Come turning green, bruv?
I mean, like, I'm just assuming from all the dabs you'd be ripping in there, like it would also change the color.
Green?
I don't know.
It's never green. Like,
how many dabs have you blown onto dried semen to observe the color that it changes to?
Do we want to talk about that on this podcast? Because I mean, I have a full hour on that. So
I mean, well, the people got to know. I mean,
okay. So when you blow dab smoke on dried semen, I mean, it's essentially a vapor, and so it acts very differently from smoke itself. Where smoke actually has a lot of lipids in it, the vapor itself is not as soluble. So. I mean, it's not a lipid itself, and so it's it's lipid phobic, as oils are hydrophobic, and so it doesn't really cling on in the same way that smoke does. However, the smoke itself is like a brownish yellowish substance, like cum. So when you breathe smoke on cum,
wait, brownish yellowish substance like cum.
Well, once
cum is yellow and brown.
Once cum dries.
What?
Whoa.
Tell me about this brown cum, bro.
Based on the races.
Whoa. Tell me about this brown cum.
I've heard
though.
Chocolate people make chocolate milk.
Oh no!
It's like a brown cow makes chocolate milk.
No.
Let's get.
This is getting canceled. A racist cast.
It's not racist. I'm just saying. I make a kind of a very light olive, like dark peachish kind of cum.
What?
Based on my skin tone, And when I tan, my cum is darker and browner.
Yeah, that's normal. That's the way bodies are supposed to work.
Yeah, that's how the sun works. And
yeah, that's definitely how the sun works, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Spencer?
Well, it's gonna be hard to top that. I've been actually catching up on a lot of music. I've been listening to a bunch of music lately. That's been really nice. I've been also catching up on a bunch of podcasts. Been just listening to a lot of audio stuff. While I work on audio stuff, I've been building and troubleshooting guitar pedals. It's a whole thing. It's very exhausting.
I think the word you're looking for is nerdy.
Yes. I mean, being nerdy is exhausting. It's great, but it's also exhausting.
If you insist.
Yeah, I listened to the new Archspire album.
It's really good.
Really good. It's really great.
So, someone online the other day on a subreddit I'm on posted that they had a tape of it, a cassette tape. And I like, although as much as I love cassettes and like realize their utility for some things and for trading and like curating and kind of having a fun thing. Archspire doesn't belong on tape.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not like on tape music.
It's too fast and way too technical and way too like mid-range centered.
I bet that just sounds like mush. Like
and that's the thing is like I like usually when you're negative on the tape forum I'm on, like people downvote the fuck out of you.
I bet.
But people upvoted the fuck out of me because like I think a couple metalheads were like, yeah, why the fuck do you have that on tape? That's
I don't know. That just like doesn't make sense to like tech death. It's like releasing a tech death album on tape is like releasing a 16-bit era game soundtrack on vinyl. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like that's just not the medium it is made for.
It's not destined for that. Like you know what would actually probably sound pretty good on cassette is like Destroy the Opposition.
Oh yeah, because it's so like it has that kind of a mix thick. Already. Yeah, it has a very thick like mid-centric mix.
It's not like it's not guitar centric. Like if anything, it's very drum centric.
It's a very balanced mix.
It is.
We're talking about Destroy the Opposition, the 2000 record from Dying Fetus, which is an absolutely incredible, one of the greatest death metal albums of all time.
Yeah, really like one of the best extreme metal albums ever made.
Yeah, for sure. An incredible mix too. It just sounds so good. Like,
dude, the
drums just sound so huge. Like it's
when the snare fills come in on the fucking opening track. That so sexy, so
good, so fucking good, so fucking good.
Listen to Dying Fetus. We've discussed it like 4 times.
Yeah. We're big stans.
We're fetus stans.
Yeah.
We
diabetes stans.
Diabetes fetus. We Yeah, we love dying fetus. Both, and that's why I support Planned Parenthood.
Exactly. Is there an Anal Cunt song called like "Wearing a Dying Fetus Shirt to Planned Parenthood"?
No, that's
because like it sounds like it would. Yeah.
Anal Cunt rocks. Listen to Anal Cunt too. They're something.
Yeah, they kind of do rock. So yeah, I started watching Squid Game as well.
Yeah.
And,
what do you think so far?
I watched the first 1.5 episodes.
Okay.
It seems pretty good. It's a lot slower paced than I was expecting, and I'm having trouble like watching it in long stretches just because like I just get bored and then like I get like antsy.
Atmospheric elements
But it's very well made. Like I'm not complaining about it. Like it seems very well made. Like it's just like the other night when I put it on, I was like, I need something more engaging. But what I did want to talk about though is I also started rewatching Workaholics, which is
I've actually never watched it all the way through. I've only watched one-off episodes.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's such a good
Is that
show.
why you're trying to look like that dude?
We don't. You're not allowed to talk about that. I do sort of look like Blake or whatever
You
from
do.
Workaholics.
Yeah, when you have just a regular mustache, you really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I made a meme about it and sent it to you.
Yeah, you did. That is an amazing meme. I mean, I really
think
love
some
that
of my
meme.
favorite memes are private memes that I just send to like one person or two people max.
The best one that I've ever seen is the one where you were like, happy 31st birthday, but you took the 311 logo to make it into my 31st. Yeah, that was really good.
311th.
Yeah, my happy 311th birthday. It was the most 311th birthday, that's for sure.
Well, no. This birthday is your 33rd, which is your 11th birthday.
Whoa.
You're going to have a 311th
Oh my
birthday
God,
this year.
you're right.
Yeah.
We got to do something special for that.
You should have a come original party.
Okay.
Like, we should try to like
so an orgy?
I think I have enough Molly. Yeah, let's do it.
No, I like the idea of a come original party. That sounds good.
You should. We should like invite a whole bunch of people to an orgy, and they show up, and it's just a listening party for Candy Ass.
Oh, jeez.
By the band Orgy.
Yeah. That's it's a pretty good joke. I like that. But in rewatching Workaholics, they so that first season of that show came out a long time ago, and it
like 2006.
I think it's a little later than that, but it's like around there. Yeah, I think it's sometime between 2007 and 2009.
Yeah, I mean it was like late 2000s at some point.
Yeah,
I don't remember how late.
Well, they have flip phones in the first season, so it was definitely like pre-smartphones.
I remember it was like kind of around the same era as like Whitest Kids You Know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think Whitest Kids You Know. I think that was like 2005.
Yeah, I think Whitest Kids You Know was a little earlier, but they ran around the same time.
Totally. And so like the first season of that show, it definitely, it's not.
Is it rough? Because
it's a little rough. It's like not. I wouldn't say it's
first seasons are rough. I'd say.
It's actually pretty good as far as the comedy goes. I would just say like some of the jokes are a little off color in today's viewing through today's lens. So there's some off-color jokes.
So jokes about black people.
No.
Okay.
No. But like,
so we're not talking about actual color.
Well, yeah. One thing that's interesting is like one of the big. So when I first watched that show, I was really turned off by it because the first episode that I watched was actually the second episode of the show, which is about them like befriending a pedophile. They have since removed that episode
because the guy who played the pedophile is an actual pedophile.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So that guy,
I had no idea.
I totally forgot. No. Yeah, that guy, I forget his name, but he was canceled and he's like back doing stuff now, and people are like calling it out, being like, hey, this guy's a predator because he was like caught like grooming and like sending pictures to like underage girls online and shit.
That's gross.
Yeah. No, straight up. So the guy who played that guy is like, I mean, he wasn't playing a character.
Well, so like that episode sucks, and that was the second episode of the show, and it's no longer on streaming. Mm-hmm. So like that episode just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and that's the reason.
Which is pretty interesting. Well, that's good because that episode was not good. So like the rest of the episodes are stronger, and it's better for it.
Stronger, longer. Stephen Dong Zinger.
Well, you almost got there.
Almost.
So. Yeah. We had a great conversation about dicks last night. What were we talking about? We were talking about celebrities.
Well, no. Well, the thing, I was kind of like, I was kind of trying to workshop a bit I'm working on, like, all types of people have big dicks. And I can name a person, like, in the media of, like, every race, creed, color, everything that's got a big dick.
For sure.
Basically, except I can't think of a single Mormon that I know of who's got a big fucking dick.
Yeah.
Can you name a Mormon who's just known to have a fucking donkey schlong?
Yeah, fat throbbing.
Like even one that, like, I mean, even if it's not, even if it's speculation, like, no one's like, oh, here's Mitt Romney in sweatpants. Look at that outline.
Nobody's like,
been there.
Nobody like. Didn't Joseph Smith have like hella wives? Not one of those bitches. It was like he had a big dick. Like not a single one.
Not a single. No.
Yeah, like
there's no sacred stones that they're interpreting. Like Joseph Smith has a giant schlong on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he had sacred stones, if you know what I mean. But
yeah. But they weren't that sacred. I'd step on him.
He'd probably like that.
He probably would. I bet Joseph Smith was into cock and ball torture.
Yeah, I'm gonna back that claim right now. It's canon now.
Yeah.
If you're a Mormon, it's just added to your culture. Like,
Enjoy.
You can do that. You can do that. Yeah. Enjoy that. Yeah.
It's holy. It's the holy day.
Joseph Smith was into CBD. So
CBD?
CBT.
You got to take the CBD so you can stand the CBT,
Yeah. CBD actually a great remedy for cleanup after a CBT scene. So yeah. Totally.
Oh
yeah.
Cool.
Anywho, Britt, you want to hit me with a bucket fact?
I'd love to hit you with a bucket fact.
Bucket fact, 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 bucket fact.
Today we're going to talk about one of Buckethead's contemporaries and influences. One of his main influences.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Sean Lane.
Oh, big influence.
Big influence, contemporary, friend of Buckethead's, amazing guitarist and
absolutely pianist, amazing, yeah.
Like virtuoso level guitarist and pianist. Honestly, like one of the best in the world at both of those things. The guy he's dead now, but in his short life he played with Ringo Starr, Chris Christopherson, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Reggie Young, Joe Walsh, and Jonas Hellborg, among others, which is a crazy list.
Yeah, for real.
So,
and dude absolutely shreds,
like insanely. Yeah,
like just an incredible style. If you've never listened to Sean Lane, definitely type his name into YouTube and just like watch some of his videos. They're really incredible.
He has a guitar style that cannot be learned or practiced into.
Like, he is true like next level virtuoso.
Yeah, he's beyond. At one point, Paul Gilbert described him as a terrifying monster in terms of his technical ability, because he plays stuff that is literally impossible to play by most people. Like it's impossible to develop that skill in a lifetime for a lot of people, just based on physical limitations. Anyway, Sean Lane, born in Memphis, Tennessee, got an early start in music, being a gigging pianist and guitarist by the time he was 14 years old.
Wow.
By the time of 14, he was playing lead guitar for a band featuring 27-year-old Ozzy Osbourne and Whitesnake drummer Tommy Aldridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, who is widely known as and regarded as one of the pioneers of using double bass drums in metal. Early in his career, the owner of Shrapnel Records, Mike Varney, found out about Sean Lane and got some recordings of his and would send bootlegs of them to guitar playing enthusiasts and fellow virtuosos, including Paul Gilbert, who described him as a terrifying monster in terms of his technical playing ability. At the time, Paul Gilbert was teaching Buckethead, and he showed Buckethead some of these recordings. And there were some video recordings, bootlegs he had that he saw. Seeing Sean's playing is largely attributed to a lot of developments in Buckethead's style, most notably with his 8-finger tapping techniques, also known as nubbing.
Yeah.
So, according to Sean Lane himself, he was experimenting in the late 80s with a guitar recording technique that was just basically doing like very quick runs while tapping and then overdubbing it very quickly in ways that couldn't be really replicated live, right? And Buckethead got this tape from Paul Gilbert and, thinking it was actual human playing, decided to try to replicate it.
Yeah.
Which is attributed to his 8-finger tapping, his nubbing technique.
Interesting.
Yeah, right? So in the early 90s, the two would form a friendship after meeting through mutuals, and they would attempt to make an album together once in 1993, and then again in 2003. But both would unfortunately never come to fruition. And the one they tried to make together in 2003 was supposed to also feature another guitarist with the last name Kaiser, who is the same guy who gave Buckethead the guitar known as Kaiser's Gift, which I talked about in a very early Bucket Fact.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. Small world.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So they would share the stage together just one time in 1997, playing a show together. Both of them doing solo. Sean Lane unfortunately passed away in September of 2003 from an autoimmune disease that he'd had since childhood. He was just 40 years old. After his death, Buckethead put a memorial on his website with a message saying, and I quote here, "I feel very lucky for the few moments I got to spend with him, and they were very special memories."
Well, that's very sweet.
He was by far the greatest guitar player that ever lived. More importantly, he was a great man.
Damn, Buckethead's a sweet guy.
He really is.
I really get the vibe that he's just a nice person, and I like him a lot.
Yeah, he feels a lot of stuff very deeply, I think.
Yeah.
We listened to 3 more fucking pikes this week.
Fucking A, we did. Holy shit.
Pike 169.
Nice.
Pike 170 and Pike 171. And that's going to be The Windowsill, Washed Away, and A Ghost Took My Homework, respectively. Pike 169.
Nice.
Released on September 6th, 2015. Just 4 days after the previous Pike, Ognorator.
Yeah. 4 days?
4 days after.
Nice.
So this is a 3-song Pike. It's a
lot of bass shredding in the first 2/3 of it.
Yeah, the first 2/3 definitely.
Bunch of bass shredding.
It's mostly a bass album.
Mostly. The last song takes a different sort of direction with guitar.
But it's a lot of slap-heavy bass funk shit with electronic drums.
Yes.
A lot of heavy distorted bass. A lot of running the bass through the FM4.
A lot of like doing very quick runs on the bass.
Yeah. And so he does a lot of stuff that honestly, you know what it reminded me a lot of?
What's that?
Joey motherfucking DeMaio, baby.
Interesting.
He does a lot of very...
Bass player for Manowar.
Yeah, bass player from Manowar, who is a virtuoso in his own interesting right. Not a great virtuoso, but does a lot of shred stuff where, I mean, he's able to like cover scales very quickly, but not perfectly. And I feel like for shredding bass, Buckethead's skill level is about the same. Buckethead is not as good as bass as he is on guitar. Yeah. And he cannot shred quite as well. I mean, to be fair, it is so much harder to shred on bass and make it sound clean than it is guitar, no matter what effects you use, no matter how good you are. Like, it is very difficult.
Agreed.
And, you know, in as much, this week I saw I went to see a show. I saw Victor Wooten.
Oh, yeah. Band. Forgot about that. That's so tight. How was that?
It was good. It's the first tour he's been on in a couple years because of COVID and everything. And, I had tickets to see him, I think, last April or something. But it was like right when everything shut down. So he's rescheduled it twice, and he finally got here. And it was great. But, like, I don't know. He seemed very, like, out of practice. And he was good, but, like... he wasn't nearly as good as any other time I've seen him. And I've seen him in different bands tons of times. And this was the first time I was like, yeah, he seems like a little bit out of practice. He's not super clean. So, everyone has bad days.
They do. And it can happen. It can happen to anyone.
But this is, this is fine. This is like, I think he's playing up to his skill level here on bass. Yeah. He's a good bassist. Don't get me wrong. Very good bassist.
Yeah.
I think he'd work like in any band very well. It's just, he's not as good at guitar. And so if you go into the album expecting a as good as guitar album, but on bass, that's not what it is.
Quite that. No.
Quite that. No.
Definitely not that. I don't really feel like he's trying to make it that either. No. He's just kind of doing some weird stuff with the bass. And like, I know what that's like as a guitar player. Sometimes it's just really fun to just be like, hey, bass.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Bass is always fun. And you know what? Honestly, like, the most fun instrument is the one you don't main. Right?
That's actually a good point.
The instrument,
bass is probably my favorite instrument to play.
Right? And, like, my favorite instrument to play is probably bass, because bass is the best instrument. But, no.
Sure.
But it honestly depends. Like, so I've been playing, like, 6-string a bunch for years now. I recently went back to like 4-string fretless, and I think that's my favorite instrument to play.
Nice.
It just feels so right. And you can do so many cool things on it.
You can.
Without frets, you can do so many dumb things on that instrument.
Yeah, you can.
And I like that.
It's like you're a walking slide whistle.
Or like, you're like a trombone, but with a big penis. That's how I feel.
So William T. Riker.
Exactly. Bingo. Bingo. Fretless bass is the William T. Riker of instruments. That's how I feel.
There you go.
You know what?
Nailed
You're totally right. Thank you. Thank you,
you're
Spencer.
welcome. You're welcome.
You put that into better terms than I ever could. Track 2, The Moors, was, what we described. A really bass-heavy funk song. Lots of slapping. Overall, a cool song. Even though it's all bass, it's nothing at all like his other all-bass album, Pike 117 Vacuum.
Correct. It's not like that.
And he doesn't have a lot of all bass stuff, but I appreciate that the all bass stuff he has is very different and diverse.
I appreciate that too. I liked Vacuum quite a bit. I remember being a big fan of that. Yeah.
This one was all right.
This one was all right.
The Moors, the first song, it was cool, but it was 14 fucking minutes long, which is...
Fucking minutes.
For an all bass song...
Fucking minutes.
I would say too long.
That's...
No matter who you are... Even Michael Manring cannot keep my attention for 14 minutes on bass for one song.
More like Michael Cockring.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. We could make an app.
Yeah. It syncs to your phone.
And
vibrates in time. Yeah.
Oh, it's a metronome for your dick.
Yes.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, that'd be so good.
You got to keep time. I mean...
Wow.
Yeah.
And on your dick, what better way?
Yeah.
What are you paying more attention to than your dick while playing bass?
Exactly. Like, nothing.
It's a metronome. It's a Cockring metronome only for bassists. The Michael Cockring. I love it. Track 2, The Dunes, another all-bass song. So it's like kind of a more compact and efficient version of the first song, The Moors.
Yeah.
Lots of slapping, lots of distorted parts. The drums are a little more natural on this track than the previous one. The previous one's mostly electronic stuff.
Yeah.
There's some pretty cool bass shredding here, but mostly it's a lot like the previous song.
Yeah, it's a lot like the previous song. It sounds very similar.
And then track 3, The Windowsills, the titular track, very different.
Yeah, very different. Big, long, slow guitar solo.
Yeah.
Slow leads.
It's a bluesy jam.
Not very bass heavy.
I mean, there's a bass riff in the background that keeps on repeating. That's about it.
Yeah. Just not very like bass centric. It's more guitar centric, more atmospheric centric.
It's a lot like a lot of the previous Pikes, like a bass riff and some drums with some electronic elements here and there, doing a lot of repeating riffs and then a lot of guitar jamming over it. It's a jammy song. It's fine.
It's fine.
The
not my
song
favorite.
On the album, though, even
for sure.
Though it's the only one with guitar.
Agreed.
Overall, not a bad Pike. I liked it. It was nice to see him go full bass mode again. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. This is a soundtrack to like food. This is like food truck rock.
Okay. I mean, we've got a lot of food truck rock before.
I mean, but like, sometimes you gotta have a food truck rock.
True. Honestly, though, it's all bass. And bass belongs to weirdos. Not all food trucks are run by weird. A lot of them are.
So, like, I'm thinking like a grilled cheese only food truck.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So I was thinking because this is a bass album and bass belongs to the weirdos.
That's true.
It's a place where like weirdos hang out. So I feel like this album goes to the Kratom shop at Buckethead Land.
Why would there be a Kratom shop at Buckethead
Why
Land?
wouldn't there be a Kratom shop at Buckethead Land, Spencer?
Do you think you can vape at Buckethead Land?
Yeah, you can vape whatever the fuck you want. You can vape DMT at Buckethead Land.
I don't know if
it's
allowed.
a vape friendly park.
Okay,
that's my opinion.
You think there's just like fucking there's just a Ferris wheel and people just ripping DMT on that Ferris wheel?
I think like I could definitely see a Pike named like Vape Cloud Ferris Wheel.
That's a good point.
Vape Cloud Cyclone Bender or something.
Yeah,
that's a thing.
You're probably not wrong.
Yeah. Pike 170. Also, his 200th solo studio album.
Yeah. Saw a lot of people talking about that online. Pretty cool.
Pike 170 Washed Away, released on September 12th, 2015, just 4 days after the Windowsill. This is a 2-track Pike. One of the tracks, the first one, is I think the longest track on any Pike that's not a single track. It is 25 minutes long.
Yeah. So this is a weird one. The first song is just a like very ambient, slow guitar solo.
The first song was amazing in my opinion.
Interesting.
The production on it was different from anything he's ever done on the Pikes and pretty much anything he's ever done musically except for the album he did with William Ackerman. And honestly, this sounds like a Windham Hill recording, 100%. This sounds like some Michael Hedges ass shit, or maybe like early Pat Metheny, like the stuff he was doing that was new age. Like, it is like incredibly dynamic, but also quiet.
It is quiet. Yes.
It's very quiet, but like if you turn the volume up, this shit is super dynamic. Like this is a non-compressed, basically a new age song, but with like Buckethead guitar over it.
I could see that. Yeah. It to me, listening to it, I was like, this is dentist waiting room music.
You're not wrong. But then I mean the second
or like
track,
massage music.
The second track
is a slam and metal different. Song. Yeah,
it's a Baroque speed metal jammer.
Yeah,
like it's very like neoclassical. He plays a lot of cool runs on it.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool song actually.
It's one of the best speed and thrash riff songs I've heard on any of his albums. Like there's some great fucking riffs in there. It would be amazing with vocals.
Yeah.
There's no solos, but it would definitely invite solos. Like an Andy LaRocque type solo on here would fucking rock.
Yeah.
This is probably my track of the week, honestly. I really like Spike. Spike was great. Washed Away was really great too. Honestly, this was a great album. The problem is the 2 songs on it didn't work together at all. It didn't make sense together at all.
I like that he's willing to just be like, whatever.
Yeah, like, fuck it. I just made these 2 tracks.
Yeah, we're just going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool Pike. It's pretty cool. It's understated. The tracks don't work together, but the first track itself, as you said, a massage, I put, it goes to the Bucket Spa.
Bucket Spa. Dude,
Bucket
Spa's got to be a weird place.
No, it's got to be great.
Yeah.
It's got to be really good.
Yeah, it's probably pretty good.
Like, imagine a cucumber mask, but they give you, like, the Buckethead mask and then put cucumbers over you.
That sounds fun. I'm here for it.
Pike 171, A Ghost Took My Homework, released on September 17th, 2015, 5 days after Washed Away, the previous Pike. A Ghost Took My Homework.
I really liked this one.
This was pretty good.
This one's pretty good.
It was pretty consistent altogether. Like, all the songs work together. It's 3 tracks.
Dude, okay, the first song is Bucket Gent.
It's Bucket Gent, but it's also like Bucket new metal.
It's kind of new metal-y, but it's like very genty too. There's some like genty riffs there, which I think is crazy.
I said it's genty and psychedelic metal with electronic drums and a lot of new metal influence.
Correct.
Like it's gent in the way that like a lot of stuff off of fucking that one Mudvayne album is kind of genty. The one with Dick, you know,
LD50.
Yeah, LD50. Thank you. Which turned 21 recently, I think.
I listened to a song from that yesterday.
I listened to the whole thing like a few months ago. It's a good album.
It honestly. Is an underappreciated album.
It's honestly a pretty good album.
It's a pretty good album.
Anyway.
Especially for like especially for like accessible, like mainstream metal at the time. Like it goes pretty hard.
It does.
Like it's heavy.
It gets classified as new metal, but if the term new metal never existed, it would be classified with some other extreme metal.
Like thrash or death metal or something like that.
It'd be like a weird corner of death metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good though.
Like if another band, like if a band named like Gore Pussy released that album.
Oh, it'd be 100% death metal.
No one would question it at all. They'd be like, oh yeah, it's a death metal album.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're 100% not wrong.
Yeah, we've got to start Gore Pussy. Yeah.
Gore Pussy. I mean, someone's already started that.
Yeah? Okay. All right.
Pretty good name, though.
I still miss Gorps.
Gorpsy, you mean?
No, Gorps. Not Gorpsy. Shut up. It's Gorps.
It's Gorpsy. Anyway, Ghost Took My Homework. Longest track on the album at 18 minutes. Psychedelic, genty, new metal-y. Clocks in at 18 minutes. About 8 minutes in, there's a slap guitar part.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
It is pretty cool.
And then after that, he just goes like kind of full effects kill switch for most of the rest of the song. It's cool. There's some good riffs on here. Within the parameters of what the song is, the song goes quite a few places. It's pretty diverse for being just a straight psychedelic, genty metal song.
Yeah, it does, and I really enjoyed it. Like I liked how weird it was. There's a lot of like sludgy whammy riffs where he does uses the whammy pedal to make it sound all like crazy, which is fun. But I just thought this one had like some really good energy, and I like the down-tuned guitar riffs. Like it sounded pretty fun. Yeah, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Next song, A Man Visits Museum.
Yeah,
a man visits museum.
Yeah,
a man does.
A man does.
Second longest song at 9 minutes. Lots of. Kind of the same thing, except this one uses a lot more regular drums with electronic drums.
Yeah,
it's it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more experimental, but a lot shorter. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very much in the same vein of what was happening before.
A lot more solos, I'd say.
Yeah, I like the first song a little bit more, but I still think it's like it's strong. It's not terrible.
Yeah. And then last song, clocking in at I think like 4 minutes. Birds and Ladders. Pretty sick little metal song. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Very Buckethead. Pretty good. A Ghost Took My Homework. Where do you think this goes in the park?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think this goes to a roller coaster called like Schoolhouse Shock. It's kind of like a Schoolhouse Rock type like instructional thing where like, you go to a different section and they're singing about like a thing and being instructional about it, except it's like the history of like Bootsy Collins and shit.
Oh, that sounds tight. Do you think it would cover all of, like the weird sex stuff that Bootsy Collins surely does?
I mean, none of that's public, so I really doubt it.
But like, it would be cool if it went that far.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that weird. I mean, like, dude obviously eats butt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you seen his wife?
Mm-mm.
She's fucking fine, dude.
Nice.
And she's like, I think in her like 50s or 60s. Dude, I eat that butt every day of the week.
By the Bootsy already beat you there.
So, but yeah, he ate that Bootsy Collins. The Bootsy was Collins to him, so he ate it.
Yeah. Okay, what is Tom Collins? Tom Collins mix.
Tom Collins mix is lemon and sugar.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like a Tom Collins, I think is like lemon simple syrup. I want to say like tonic and gin, something like that for Tom Collins.
Huh.
Yeah.
I've never had that. That sounds like a decent drink.
You know what I would highly recommend is a podcast called The Sloppy Boys. Which,
okay.
No, honestly, it's an amazing podcast.
Okay.
It's done by three of the guys from the Birthday Boys, who have a band called The Sloppy Boys, and each week they talk about a different cocktail in the history of it while they're drinking the cocktail, and they're like three really funny, really annoying guys. It's one of my brother's favorite podcasts, if that tells you anything.
Okay.
And also, it's one of his favorite bands, if that tells you anything. We gotta check out. We gotta listen to a Sloppy Boys song after this because you'll enjoy it.
All right, that sounds like a thing I'm going to be required to do.
Where do you think this goes in the park? I said Schoolhouse Shock.
Schoolhouse Shock is a very fun idea. Mm-hmm. To me, like I hear this and I'm like, I hear like a library. If a library played music,
okay.
Because like libraries don't play music, but they probably would in Buckethead land. And so why do I think this is library music? I don't know. It reminds me of like computers and like being weird at a computer, maybe jerking off at a computer, which is a thing people do in libraries. So
that's fair.
I don't know. There's a lot there.
How about a cryberry?
Have you ever seen anybody jerking off in the library?
I've seen people looking at porn in the library.
Me too.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody jerking off in the library.
Like what kind of motherfucker goes to the library to look at porn? Like what? Why?
I mean, you know, if you're like homeless and whatever, like where else are you gonna look at porn?
Sure, but like the people that I see looking at porn in the library don't look homeless.
Well, I mean, all types of people are homeless, whether they look it or not, Spencer.
That is true. That is true. But let's imagine for a second a non-homeless individual who makes a special trip to the library to look at pornography.
Yeah, what about
him? In the words of NSYNC, tell me why.
I don't think it's illegal necessarily, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But why? Why do we need to be looking at porn in the library?
There's no law against it. Why are you hating? Like, why do people got to do a lot of things? Like, I could make the argument. I've like some douchebag could be walking down the street. Why men allowed to have long hair with this motherfucker right here? Why you got long hair, motherfucker? And you'll be like, what, dude? Who cares?
I don't think that looking at porn in the library is the same as having long hair.
Listen. The porn visually offends you. The long hair visually offends the guy who dislikes the long hair, right? So,
I don't dislike porn, and porn doesn't offend me.
Then why do you care?
Why do we got to do it?
He's not jerking off. There's a law against jerking off.
But
there's no law against viewing the pornography.
It's weirder that he's not jerking off. I'll be honest.
I mean, it raises more questions.
Yes.
But exactly. Why do you need all these questions answered? This isn't your life. Why do you care about what they're doing on their personal computer time in the library? Do you go around to everyone in the library like, oh, why is this motherfucker on Microsoft Excel? What's he doing? what's this motherfucker doing? looking at shit for a book report? Oh, I don't like Babylon. Babylon's stupid. Why are you going
Nebuchadnezzar's a fucking dumbass, bro.
Like, why are you judging this one specific thing people are non-illegally looking at on the library computer, Spencer? That's my question.
I like that you keep specifying it's not illegal. It's not illegal, okay?
It's not illegal. We have not deemed it ethically or morally abhorrent as a society enough to the point where we have banned it with legislation. So why do you gotta legislate with your own fucking opinion on a free society, motherfucker, just looking at his goddamn pornography on the library computer?
Well, you got me beat there. I guess I can't judge, you know? Sometimes a man has to, like, look at gangbangs and not jerk off. You know?
Oh, wait. Gangbangs? That's disgusting. I agree with you. Whoa. That's gross. I thought we were talking about just one man, one woman pornography.
Yeah, no, they be looking at all sorts of greasy shit in the library.
That's unchristian. Yuck. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. I agree with you now. Okay,
yeah.
Big judgment.
We should go to the library and look at porn on the computers.
Is that going to be our next special episode?
Oh, no. No, that's going to be my
That's my recommendation for the week, Spencer. That's what we're doing.
Oh, no. That's next level.
That's next week, Spencer, not next level.
Jesus Christ. Well,
the next level is level 2, which no one's ever beat.
No one's ever beat off.
It only gets harder from here.
Exactly. That's a reference to our Patreon-only bonus episode.
Yeah, which you can listen to if you pay us.
Yeah. Give us that sweet, sweet skrill.
Yeah. Anyway, those were the pikes for the week. What do you got to recommend this week, Spencer? What's going on?
Oh, man. Okay, so I actually do have a good recommendation.
I'm just kidding. Hey, Spencer, you want to take a fucking trip with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, where are we going?
To the Bucket Void.
Statements from the Bucket Void.
Bucket Void. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We did it. We're here. It's the part of the show where we, look at YouTube and scowl and make fun of the people who leave comments there.
But more than taking a look into YouTube, we take a look inside.
Yeah.
And find out what's really important.
Yeah, indeed. I also wake me up, inside and before you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when September ends. Which,
thanks.
Now that it's November.
Yeah, somebody should have woken me up a while ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Month and change.
Yes,
Someone
indeed.
did a bad job. I'm going to fire my wake-up call. Do they still have wake-up call services? Is that still a thing?
I have no idea. I bet if you asked for that at a hotel, they would do it.
Oh, no. In hotels, they definitely have it still.
Yeah.
I feel like it's only in hotels, though. Like, they used to have that for, like, people.
What? That's wild. Oh, I guess, yeah, before phones.
There's a Seinfeld episode about a wake-up call
right.
service. Yeah,
right.
It was a real thing in like the 90s.
It's really fun how dated Seinfeld is now.
Yeah, right?
It's
a show about nothing, but it's also a show about nothing relevant.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see an episode about Kramer saying the N-word and getting canceled. Those words. What do we got in the bucket void?
YouTube user Anna K says 6 years ago, tenderness and sentimentalism followed by harshness and anger. All the feelings in one album. What else can a listener ask for except our congrats once again, Sir Buckethead?
So whoever is typing this is really in need of like a DDL relationship. Yeah, there's some big sub vibes.
Yeah. Just extremely. Yeah, they really want they want Buck Daddy for sure.
Yeah, they want the big B and the big D.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Speaking of Buck Daddy, YouTube user Paramecium302 says 6 years ago, probably shouldn't refer to Buck as Brian. Heard he doesn't like it very much. I don't like Buck either.
Yeah, Buck's a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like Buck or Bucky too much.
Yeah,
I like Bucket,
weird.
Big B, Buckethead, Big Daddy B.
Yeah, Daddy Bucket. Daddy Head. Head Daddy.
Evil Dominator Head X.
Bucket. Sir Bucket.
Fuck Me Harder Daddy.
Yeah. Hard Normal Daddy.
Fuck Pig X. Fuck Pig Triple X.
Yeah.
Triple X starring Vin Diesel.
Yeah, Triple X2 starring Ice Cube and not Vin Diesel. Triple X3, The Return of Xander Cage starring Vin Diesel again. That's the name of this episode.
Triple X3 starring. I'm fine.
YouTube user Parker Petty says 6 years ago, "Can someone explain to me this whole Pike thing? I know they're like 200, but is there a story behind them?" Yeah, they do. They did actually write it like that. I know they're like 200, but is there a story behind them?
They're like 200.
No, there's not.
It's
actually, you know what? This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world.
And although she looks so sad in
in
photographs,
I absolutely love her when she smiles. Yeah.
Is that song the original, like, fucking Toxic Male, You Should Smile?
Yeah.
That is, right?
That band invented toxic masculinity.
I think they did.
Yeah.
I mean, them and Ted Nugent really.
Yeah. It's really like a straight line from like Jailbait to Story of a Girl.
Definitely straight, because no gay people listen to either of those bands.
Yeah. Anyways, YouTube user Mr. C5150, whose profile picture is a snowman playing guitar.
Oh, you know what that means? He's a snowman.
I'm gonna show that to you. It's playing an Eddie Van Halen guitar.
Mr. C. That stands for Mr. Cocaine.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of
He's
cocaine,
a snowman. All right.
He says, "Shut up." 2 years
Get
ago,
it, snowman, because they call cocaine snow.
Oh, thanks. I didn't get it before you explained it to me.
He has 8 balls. 8 testicles.
Just banging around.
4 dicks and 8 balls.
Yeah, it's like one of those like things you leave on the desk where like one is tapping and like the ones on the end are like going back and forth. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Here's a quick bucket joke. Riker asks Worf if he has an 8 ball. Worf says, "No, I only have 4."
Yes, that's awesome. Do you think he's got 2 ball sacks, or they're like inner balls?
Yeah, that's what I wonder, because he's got 2 penises. So does he have 4 balls?
That rules. I hope so. They're just like in a big old sack.
Or it'd be cool. Yeah, or if you had
like
3
2
balls.
sacks.
Ooh. Yeah, would they be separate sacks like the separate penises, or would they all be together?
I think they'd all be together. I think like the 2 of them would be like internal balls, maybe.
Oh, like 2 of them are hiding and 2 of them are like visible?
Mm-hmm. Because they have redundant organs, remember? So like I would say that like that's probably... So they got just like... Yeah. I don't know.
I do know.
You do know.
I do know now.
Anyways, Mr. C5150 says 2 years ago, "Slap happy shred festery. Holy fucking moly."
Holy fucking moly. Yeah, hell yeah, I love that.
I like
Shred
that too.
Festery. That sounds like a special they'd have at Red Lobster.
Yeah, it does.
We're shredding crabs at the Shred Festery.
This weekend only, Shred Festery at the Red Lobster.
Come get your buttermilk biscuits, you stupid fat faggot.
Whoa, okay.
That was the ad. That's what it says on the ad. Right
okay,
there.
yeah, you did read the copy, just direct.
Sorry, dog.
Format C for Cortex says 6 years ago, "This guy is the Salvador Dali of rock music." I disagree.
Yeah, I mean, he's not surrealist, really.
And he's like, not really. I mean, he's very real.
He's very artistic, but like Salvador Dali wasn't like quite as prolific. I don't think. I mean, Salvador Dali was fairly prolific, but not like a Picasso or anything. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. YouTube user Terry Gerard says 2 years ago, definitely the best of all. I would like he put off his mask to see the face of the genius. I'm sure he is nice.
I would like he put off the mask.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't like he put off the mask.
No, I wouldn't like that either.
Why, if you like the music so much, why do you care?
Yeah.
Why do you care what he looks like?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, people who Google, like, Buckethead face pictures, what are you doing?
I think that, like, most of those people are probably, they're just curious.
Yeah.
And I think curiosity is fine.
Curiosity is fine and it's harmless, but, like, anyone who is, like, into Buckethead and, like, a real Buckethead fan, like...
A real bot.
If you're a real bot, at some point, I think you got to realize it does not matter.
No.
There's no point in looking... I mean, we want to get head here on this podcast. But getting head has nothing to do with knowing what Buckethead's face looks like.
No, in fact, getting head does not have anything to do.
In fact, I would say most people who know what Buckethead's face look like do not get head that often.
Thanks for building to that. That was great.
Except for maybe like Les Claypool, but then we have to have a talk about the age of consent and consent itself.
Yeah,
and child trafficking,
and why Primus fans ignore all of these things.
And
it's a lot.
Why adopting children can be kidnapping.
Oh no.
I mean, it's a whole nother discussion, but continue.
Yeah. Anyways, YouTube user Lone Hawk Whitlock says 1 year ago, edited, been hooked on this song in particular for days now. That's day with like 4 Z's after.
That's pretty
days
cool.
Now.
What was his name again?
Lone Hawk Whitlock.
More like lone cock, shit cock.
That's a lot. Nothing short of exceptional work here. Buckethead's tunes can take a mind and a soul to a wholly different dimension. Politics may not favor well with him, but if he ever ran for ambassador of the Galactic Federation for the advancement of the human soul, he has my vote.
This guy understands politics.
Yeah, he does. That's a real political office. I think it's currently being held by John Oliver.
You think it's... I thought it was Jimmy Fallon still.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I think that takes effect next year.
Yeah, because Jimmy Fallon is laughed harder for longer. So.
Oh, yeah. That's how you get that job.
It's a real desk slapper of a job.
Yeah, for certain. For certain. So now we got to do today's cum corner.
Getting horny, massive boner. Let's get into the cum corner.
YouTube user Daniel Thibault Channel says 5 years ago, my bucket load, and then a very long ellipsis.
Oh, you know what channel he's on?
69, baby.
No, Bucket Hub, baby.
Yeah. Hot single guitarists in your area.
Want to fuck.
Yeah, but their names are Buck and they want to fuck.
Oh yeah, bud.
Yeah, for sure. And Alex Caicedo says 2 years ago, oh my God! Well, Buckethead is the same God, but this is amazing. The whole planet should know Buckethead. This is medicine for my soul.
That medicine being Viagra.
Yeah, he was fucking jerking off while he was typing that. Yeah, 100%.
No, he was just like shoving things at his taint, like vaguely discovering prostate orgasms.
Yeah, just so horny, but doesn't know what to do.
Right.
Yeah. A cucumber in the butt, like just going to town. Okay, before we do a statement from the Britain Void,
we call that the butt pickle.
Or actually, sorry, not before we. Actually, I take that back. That's how we're going to do this. We're going to talk about Jordan Vine here for a second.
Oh yeah.
master of the ship key, a bucket thought divine. Tormentor extraordinaire, it's time for Jordan Vine.
Oh my God, Jordan Vine! Wow, there's a lot of Jordan Vine this week.
There was a bit.
Yeah, a lot of it is him talking about how, like, why do people care if he does whatever, you know? But here's one that I think is pretty good. This is him just kind of summing up his case here, I think, in a pretty good way. Why is it sometimes, not all the time, the main commenting point on Buckethead tracks? Can't anybody enjoy it if it's repetitive and not say it is? The way I see it, people think music is not that enjoyable if the music is repetitive. Repetition in awesome music. I would agree with people if the music was boring and shit anyway, and it was repetitious, and then, okay, I would agree, but the music being as incredible and awesome as it is and repetitive, why would anybody care? Because I fucking don't. And he follows that up 4 years ago. Also, yes, there's repetition, but the absolute awesomeness of the music makes me ignore and forget about that. I couldn't give two fucks about that because, like I said, the music is incredible and phenomenal to moan about that. I mean, come on!
Should that have been a cum corner?
That's the low-key cum corner.
That's a moan bone right there.
The low-key cum corner. Mm-hmm. Low-key cum corner. Yeah, so he's just...
That's a mid-key reel.
Yeah,
that's mid
he's just chilling. We love a Jordan Vine.
So, while we're on the subject of Jordan Vine, this week You know, I'm a scary good researcher.
Oh.
And so I've been trying to find Jordan Vine.
Amazing.
You know, I have some possibilities. I found a lot of people named Jordan Vine.
Yeah, there's a lot. I typed that into Facebook. It didn't find much.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, like, including, like, a professional weightlifter and some other fun things. People named Jordan Vine. Nothing definitive, and no one who quite has the writing style of the Jordan Vine we've come to know and love.
Yes.
However, I found the exact same, and I'm 100% sure of this, Jordan Vine on YouTube doing comments on another artist that is not Buckethead.
Oh.
And this artist is 2000s rock band Saliva.
Oh, my God.
I'm just going to read two here. This is from Saliva Sync. Video with lyrics. Jordan Vine says,
No, don't.
Fuck! This is so good!
Yeah, I agree, Jordan.
And then a while later on Saliva, Never Let You Go, video with lyrics, he says, so amazing!
He's got to be like 14, 15, right? Like, I'm thinking he's a young
One thing I know
lad.
For sure now is when he's in cum corner, you know what he lubes up with?
Saliva.
Bingo.
Jordan Vine.
Well, that sounded fucked up.
That was
sound, great.
Yeah.
So then, to close things off before we do a statement from the Britain Void, I got to mention my favorite Buckethead comment this week.
Yeah.
And this one is really something special. This is two subcultures colliding that I didn't think I would see, and I don't know if I'm disappointed or amazed or some combination of both.
Would you say this is what it's like when worlds collide?
Yes, this is a Power Man 5000 of a connection here.
Excellent.
This is what it's like when worlds collide. Are you ready for this?
I am.
YouTube user RC Swiss Made says,
do you think that's a Royal Crown Swiss Made, like the cola?
I'm not sure.
Sorry, go for it.
Says 8 months ago, Buckethead is not from this world. And then, right below that, WWG 1 WGA, which is a QAnon slogan that means
we go on,
we go all. And I've never seen a pilled bucket bot, and I just want to say, like, that's amazing. I hope this person is no longer following QAnon, but it is really funny to see a Buckethead X QAnon. I didn't think I would see that.
Unfortunately, not many people get de-radicalized from QAnon.
That is true. It is like a roller coaster. It just
it is
keeps going upward.
It's a ramping mental illness.
Yes,
and it's very much exacerbated by the fact that it inhabits a culture and corner of the internet that is entirely unregulated, uncensored, and uninhibited by the fact that what they're doing has nothing to do with reality or truth.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
It is. It's super interesting to follow, but it's like sad and bad.
Honestly, so like QAnon forums are in a lot of ways a lot like fetishist forums, straight up.
And religious stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference? It's like, you know, most Christians just have a Jesus fetish, really.
Oh, they just want to come on the cross.
Come on the cross, baby.
That's the name of the episode.
Once on the cross. Come once on the cross.
Speaking of coming, the last statement from the Void today is from the Britain Void.
Oh, is it?
Don't you dare! Don't play. No. We don't need theme songs for everything.
I like how this is the only theme song you disagree with. You're fine with theme songs for everything else in this podcast.
I'm like, what? Okay. Speaking of coming, on April 18th, 2019, at 5:15 p.m., you texted me and said, quote, "Feeling like I skeet on a leash. Puppy play is my release."
Feeling like I
Skeet on a leash. Puppy play is my release.
Hell yeah, dog. That rocks.
Yeah.
Statements from the bucket
I'm gonna go pee.
Hey.
Yeah.
Britt, what do you got to recommend me?
This week I don't know what to recommend, so I'm gonna do two here.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm gonna recommend, if you can agree to it. So from now on, the recommendation the week before, when we're gonna trade off here, it's gonna be what we recommend the next week will be our special episode for the next week.
Yes, correct.
When we will both do it together, and talk about it to you.
Yeah, totally, which I think can be really fun. So also, like, the way that works, it means that every other week we get a whatever recommendation, each of us.
Meaning, exactly.
Meaning we get to recommend something that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That's the position I'm in today, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
But your recommendation has to count for something.
Yeah, and so it's something we have to go do. And so I would recommend getting drunk at a chain restaurant.
You keep talking about this.
Applebee's.
You've texted me about this so many times.
Oh, wait. Well, you have to get a Zoom. Can you get a Zoom recorder by next week?
Sure.
Sick. I mean, you can just get one and return it if after you
That's
use
true.
it.
That's true. Yeah.
So no matter what, Amazon doesn't give a fuck.
Amazon doesn't care. No.
Yeah. I would recommend getting drunk at The Rock Pizza.
The Rock wood-fired pizza, huh?
The Rock wood-fired pizza.
Okay, all right. Or we could go to the Hard Rock Cafe. We talked about that on a previous episode.
That's true. I would recommend getting drunk at a chain restaurant with the word rock in it.
Yeah, there we go.
You know what? We could do both, Spencer.
Oh my god.
We could bar hop.
We need the dude.
We could rock hop.
Wait, there's no Hard Rock. Sorry, there's no Rock wood-fired pizza by the Hard Rock Cafe though.
Not buy it, but we can fucking get an Uber and go wherever.
To Linwood?
No. There's a Rock wood-fired pizza in Queen Anne.
Oh, really?
Motherfucker.
What?
Yep.
Why?
Because
I guess because Queen Anne people are lame.
Shut up. I used to live there.
Yeah, but you don't anymore.
Yeah, but I was cool and I lived there.
Nice. Okay.
What do you got to recommend, dude?
Can you elaborate more as to why you recommend that?
Because we read the drink menu that one time and they have sick ass drinks. I mean, it's honestly like something I can't recommend because I've actually never done it personally, and I don't think I've ever gone to a like a chain restaurant and gotten drunk there. But I think it's something that's funny.
It is funny, yeah.
It's like undeniably funny and stupid.
It is undeniably stupid.
Yeah.
That's true.
And that's why I think we should do it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. We'll figure it out.
All right.
What I have to recommend this week is, as I mentioned earlier, I've been catching up on new release albums. I've listened to a bunch of albums recently.
Yeah.
Some of those not as great as maybe I was hoping they would be.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them like far exceeded my expectations. And one of those in particular I'd like to talk about and recommend not only that our listeners give it a listen, but I think you should give it a listen too. Mm-hmm. Really, really good. But the new album from Rivers of Nihil, it's called The Work.
Okay.
And it is incredibly good. You've listened to Isan's solo material? Isan, the guitar player from Emperor, who makes wonderful progressive extreme metal solo
with oftentimes saxophone.
Yeah, with saxophone. So I'm glad that you know that about Isan's solo material. So this Rivers of Nihil album is Isan core. It sounds just like Isan's solo stuff to the point where they have like sax solos and everything. Okay, like it's a whole thing.
Is it like Isan-y, like almost like Hammers of Misfortune-y, kind of like?
It is very Isan. Okay. It is very like even the dude's like extreme vocals and his clean vocals sound sort of like Isan.
So it is straight Isan, like just straight like that. I classify his music as like incredibly progressive metal with a lot of black metal flavors.
So this has more death metal flavor to it, but it is definitely just atmospheric, progressive, extreme metal.
So is it almost like a Dan Swano take on Isan then? Or?
It is just very Isan. You'll have to listen to it to know what I'm talking about, but suffice it to say, like if you have listened to Isan's solo material, which if you have not, you should.
You should.
It's great.
You should. Listen Much more so than Emperor.
Yeah, listen to 2000s After. That's
it's so good.
2010s After. Yeah. That's my favorite Isan record.
Very good record.
And this Rivers of Nihil album, The Work, it definitely takes a lot of cues from that. I mean, I can't speak for them personally, but it sounds like they do. But it sounds a lot like Isan's solo stuff. There's a lot of really beautiful sax parts in it. There's a lot of really beautiful guitar solos in it as well.
Hell yeah.
And the vocals are really impressive too. Like there's a lot of great melodies and a lot of like, it's just really, it's a very, very, very good record. It's very diverse. It's very atmospheric. It like has a lot of dynamics in it, which is really nice.
Hell yeah.
It gets mellow. It gets heavy. It's very good. I would say if you like progressive extreme metal along the lines of stuff like, if you, I don't know, if you like a Catatonia, an Opeth, maybe. This is almost in the same lines as something like that. Oh, an Intronaut. If you like Intronaut.
Ooh, I love it.
This is kind of like an Intronaut.
Ooh, are the bass lines super funky like Intronaut?
No.
Because that's what I love about Intronaut.
Yeah, Intronaut just has super good bass lines.
Yeah, like I could just listen to the bassist and drummer from Intronaut play together, and that's it. What they do is so cool. Like, they are so tight.
Totally.
Watching them live is amazing. Their bassist has one of the best bass faces.
He really does. He grooves so hard.
Seen.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's really good. Yeah, but yeah, I feel like progressive extreme metal. You should check that out. It's really fucking good. Can't recommend it enough.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Also, just a real quick shout out. I don't recommend the new Mastodon. It is.
I have not listened.
Extremely long, and it is.
But not worth it long? Because, I mean, like, Crack the Sky is very long.
Yeah, but Crack the Sky is incredible.
Crack the Sky is like 70 minutes long.
Crack the Sky is incredible,
I know.
Though. This is not that. Yeah. This is like a lot of meandering, long guitar solos and long atmospheric sections that just kind of build to nothing. And, like, it just keeps going. I swear this album is, like, almost 2 hours long. It's just, like, it's so long.
That is long.
It's so long.
Bummer.
And it's so boring. There are some good songs on there, but I feel like they could have cut half of the album, and it would have been a much better experience. I don't hate it. I'm not saying Mastodon's bad. I think Mastodon's a great band.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is their strongest work. It's still interesting, but it's not. I would say if you're a fan, listen to it. But if you're not a fan, this is not going to make you a fan of Mastodon.
I feel like one thing a lot of musicians don't get, especially metal musicians, is like the older they get, they will think that what translates is popular and like works really well live will work in recording. And so sometimes live you can do a lot more like atmospheric sections and like
jammy parts
and just like groove a lot more and like have more in rely more on a vibe, whereas recording doesn't really work like that.
Yeah, because it's like you're creating something for this set length of time that is going to be the same forever.
Right.
So you need to like lock it in and make it flow and make it like progress through.
Yeah, and it needs to be polished. And whereas like the jammy parts that are live, like they're cool because they're not polished and they're just like, you know, doing their own thing and like showing off what they do. You know, and that can translate live, I mean, to recording really well if you're a fucking jazz band, but not really if you're a metal band, you know?
Yeah, it just, it came across really weird. Like, there's all these, like, really long jammy parts in it, and it's like, they're fine, but it's not that interesting. I'll be honest, like, the Mastodon record, there are a lot of parts in it that remind me of some of the less interesting Pikes. Weirdly enough.
So someone actually on one of the Buckethead Facebook groups was talking about how a couple songs on the new Mastodon reminded them of Buckethead songs. So I'm like, interesting.
I actually came to that conclusion on my own, and I agree.
Okay.
Actually, like there is a somewhat of a lineage there, I guess. But I don't think it's a very strong record. I feel like Mastodon's been kind of missing the last couple of records, at least for me.
I mean,
but you know.
Like, name a metal band who has consistently put out good albums for 20 years.
Oh, they do exist. They do exist.
Death? No, not even.
Death didn't last for 20 years.
Death lasted for like 14 years, yeah.
Shorter than Decepticide.
Yeah, I did the math on that a while ago.
I hate that.
I hate that too, dog.
No, there's actually like a bunch of metal bands that have done that. I would say the Black Dahlia Murder, which is a band who has literally been around for 20 years now, and they have put out a lot of consistently good records.
I honestly like they had one really good. Unhallowed was great, and then they didn't make good albums until like 2009 when they became like techie.
No. Like Unhallowed is great, and then the album that came after that.
Oh, I really didn't like that one.
I love that record. It's like amazing.
Super poppy. That one.
No. The one that Nocturnal absolutely slaps. Nocturnal's so good, and then after that is Deflorate, and then it's I forget the one that's after that one. But here's the thing: like that band, they just make very consistent albums. Like I feel like all of their albums are consistently.
Also, they
pretty
haven't
good.
been around for 20 years.
Yeah, they have.
Since 2001.
Yes.
Okay.
Look on their Wikipedia.
Wait, when was Unhallowed? That had
Unhallowed came out in 2004.
Okay, that was like their first good album, though.
That was their first album.
So they haven't put out good albums for 20 years.
So Unhallowed was 2003. So the band's existed since 2001.
So they've only been putting out good albums for 18 years maximum then. As I said, name one metal band who has constantly put out good metal albums for 20 years.
Enslaved.
I might give you that, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Enslaved slaps. They're so good. All their stuff is great.
Although, honestly, I haven't listened to a new Enslaved album for probably a decade.
The one that came out in 2020 last year is fucking great. You should give it a listen.
Like,
I recommended it on one of the episodes.
The one after Vertebrae fell off for me.
Yeah, I agree. That's
the thing. Yeah. It's like
that being said, though, like they picked it back up. Like they released a couple that were really good after that. Reach Here is really good, and the most recent one is also really good.
I'm almost surprised that Ulver.
Also Ulver, I would say, is another band that's
Ulver.
put out.
Shut up. Ulver is not a metal band.
Yeah, that's true.
Ulver was a metal band, and then decided, no, we're just a band.
That is true.
Regardless of whatever we put out.
That is accurate.
I love Oliver more than anything, but the reason they've put out consistently great albums for 20 years is because they're not a metal band.
They don't lock themselves in. They like to explore, and I love that.
Exactly.
Speaking of exploring, it's time to explore my favorite part of the show.
Is it my body?
That's later.
Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 bucket joke. Ha 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 ha
Bucket joke.
Hey Spencer, you got anything this week?
No.
Okay.
No. I got distracted.
That's okay.
Working on other things.
I've got a bunch of dick jokes this week.
Oh, I love dick jokes. They're my favorite.
Maybe.
Dick Tracy.
Some dick jokes. Did I tell you about my recent experience at the seamstress?
No.
That was so.
Nice.
What do Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and Megadeth have in common with Lars Ulrich's penis?
I don't know.
Well, his wife refers to both of them as the Big Four.
What? Oh. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Lars has a small penis. We know this. We established it yesterday. It's part of the canon.
You know, if I'm not supposed to pee in my pants, then why does the word pants already have pee in it? Checkmate.
Checkmate, atheist.
Fucking A. If being cool was criminal, Spencer would be in jail. Not for being cool, but for the tax fraud that he's guilty of.
Yeah, that's true. Tax fraud, baby.
Why did 9 come?
I don't know.
Because 7 ate ass.
The joke is so stupid. It's great.
What do Kiss's annual cruise ship experience and Paul Stanley trying to pick up dudes at gay bars have in common?
Tell me.
Well, they're both referred to as the Kiss Cruise.
Oh, God. Wow.
What do punks and a Boss PH3 pedal have in common?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it's just a phase.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
How do you say hello after taking a bong hit?
Oh.
Hi.
Wow. Wow.
That's actually a pretty good simple joke, I think, right?
It's pretty good. I'll give that one to you.
It's simple enough. Why did the voyeur fetishist climb the mountain?
I don't know.
Well, he just wanted a peek.
Nice.
What did Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson say when the waiter got his sushi order mixed up?
I don't know.
He said, "Know your role and shut your mouth." What was Clubber Lang's prediction for the new Windows he got installed?
Who?
Clubber Lang from Rocky 2, played by Mr. T.
I don't know.
What was Clubber Lang's prediction for the new Windows he got installed?
Tell me.
Well, they said, "What's your prediction?" He said, "Pain."
That joke, there's layers there.
Why did the activist protest by coming all over the school administrator?
What? Why?
Well, he did it on principle.
Oh, yeah.
Why did Joe Biden ride reverse cowgirl style on a big fat dick?
I don't know.
Well, his advisors told him he needed to get back on top of the polls.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
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 Like, all right.
Yep. What did Jeffrey Dahmer and the legal age for a forklift certification? What do Jeffrey Dahmer and the legal age for forklift certification have in common?
I don't know.
Well, they both ate teen. Because Jeffrey Dahmer ate teenagers.
Yeah.
He cannibalized them.
He did.
And you have to be 18 to be forklift certified.
That's true.
It is true.
That all tracks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love a good forklift certification joke.
Yeah, me too. It's a good time.
It's the best time.
It's
the best of times. It's the worst of times.
Speaking of the best and or worst of times.
Yeah.
That's that. I think that's what we got for the show.
Is that what we got?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we've been talking continuously for like 2 hours, 45 minutes ish.
So according to the stream, 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Oh, 2:53, almost 3 hours. I mean, that's almost as long as the wrestling I was going to force you to watch for next week.
Oh my God, 3 hours? That's too long.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to do the drunketa thing. I mean, that's going to be way longer than 3
hours.
But
at least, like, we're hanging out.
Yeah.
You know?
But I'm also going to make you watch wrestling.
Oh, God.
No, I'm not.
No.
That would be the dumb. To make you watch wrestling at the Rock Pizza.
That would be pretty good.
On
your phone. Like, you just pull out your phone, you're like, okay, we got to watch this now. Yeah. And they're like, here, put on one headphone and I'll put on one headphone. And
we both have AirPod Pros, right?
Yeah.
We can
share. Sync. Yeah, we can share audio. Yeah. Okay. Mm. That sucks. I don't want to watch wrestling on your phone at the Rock wood-fired pizza. Pussy. Yeah. You can call me pussy.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I will.
Yeah.
I mean, pussy's cool. We all like pussy.
We love it. Love it. It's great.
Yep, that's our show.
Yeah.
Bye.
This has been you say it first.
This has been Spencer.
And this has been Britt. You've been listening to Gettin' Head, a Bucketcast. Stay greasy, Bucketheads.
Namaste.